Ah, friends. How should I develop a concept on the bicycle? I'm sitting here for, I don't know, 2 hours procrastinating and trying to get in my hand how I film this introduction to you. I have so many plans. Ich hab mir gerade eben schon gedacht, Alter, so ein Content Creator zu sein, wenn man das nicht mit Ironie verbindet.
Sei dabei, damit das Ganze hier ganz groß wird.
Da hat man auch keine Freude dran. I have a great idea, I have a good vision, I have already the first interview recorded. But the trailer, the introduction is missing. The solution for it is mostly easy. Just go outside and start doing. Dear fellow cyclist, my name is Jonas. I'm a double bassist, bike enthusiast and student of primary school teaching. I came to Tallinn to trust in the creative part of myself and experienced how uplifting this trust can be. Now that my exchange study year is over, I'm challenging myself with an adventure that might seem too crazy to be real. Cycling back home with my double bass on a cargo bike. I aim to show my process of trusting in this idea to you and inspire you to believe in yourself as well. I will take you on the ups and downs that recording an album on a bikepacking trip provokes. Together with your help, I want to raise funds for Pencils of Promise. That is a project which is building schools in places where children can't learn how to read and write. In this way, I hope to leave a social footprint instead of the carbon footprint a flight would have left behind. Besides music making, cycling is my big passion. When I came to Tallinn, I realized that the perception of cycling in Estonia differs from the one in Germany. I was raised in a society where cycling is strongly established. It may form a minor part of the cultural identity of Germans, besides car driving, wearing leather trousers and eating pretzels. But I wish it would be even stronger than all these weird stereotypes I can't identify myself with. Who knows? Maybe there comes a time when we are as much a cycling nation as the Netherlands are today. I grew up in a small village near Frankfurt, in Germany, where probably 95% of all people own the bicycle. Following my big sister's footprints, I started to learn how to cycle when I was approximately 4 years old. I still remember that I weren't allowed to cycle to school alone and my mom couldn't accompany me. I never understood why my mom was so concerned about me riding to school. I remember me back in the days feeling super confident in the saddle, riding on the weekends to the forests to build ramps over which I would force my city bike to jump over, bringing my rusty suspension fork to its limits. Maybe that's why I needed to wait till I finished my school's cycling driver's license before I was allowed to enjoy daily rides to school. And yes, we had driver license for bicycles in our school. Still, I didn't understand why everybody considered cycling a dangerous threat. Maybe only when I saw older children from the neighborhood riding with 30 kilometers per hour hands-free down Main Street.
I was born a commuter. Cycling meant being independent and fast for me. I had daily races with the kids going to school by bus, hated the winters when I was forced to take the bus, and saved up my pocket money to invest in a new bike. But what risky riding really means was first obvious when I got obsessed with bike messengers from New York showcasing their rides through the rush hour in documentaries from the 90s. All that lifestyle injected the dream of one day working as a bike messenger into my veins.
When my studies brought me to Tallinn 1 year ago, my first task was clear. I needed to find a bike to get from A to B to explore the new surroundings I found myself in. At first, I was surprised by the bike lane to university, which was just built when I moved to Tallinn. Each day, 15 new meters of red paint marked the newly won space for the muscle-driven route users. I never saw political decisions put into practice that fast in Germany. But where were the people hiding that were supposed to use these unconventionally built lanes that from time to time ended in the middle of nowhere in the same manner I knew it from Germany? Typical worst practice. Richtig geiler Fahrradweg und der endet ohne Ankündigung im Nichts.
Warum hört der Fahrradweg einfach hier auf?
They were also just badly planned. So they provoked even riskier situations than driving on the sidewalk, for example. But even more intimidating was the dominance of cars. Whether there was a bike lane on the road or not, getting honked after was a daily ritual. That was the first time that I felt the fight of the road the bike messengers from the 90s were describing. My Estonian friends were asking me often the question, isn't it dangerous to ride a bike like every day? Bravely, the confident child in me answered, why? But the power to experience the daily honking and a near accident with the car asked the question, what would be the impact on a society when people wouldn't feel threatened if they take the fastest and most sustainable way to work? And what potential for change is released if people would understand this problem? I decided to find and interview the people out there who are brave enough to already choose the bike as their go-to means of transport in a society where cycling is life-threatening. What decisions would they take to improve cycling conditions if they would be elected mayor of Prague or Tallinn or even Budapest? Do they think cycling can change the world? I'm super curious about the initiatives, political decisions, and especially the personalities that form the societies in the countries that I will visit on my ride back home. Taking the bike was never a decision for me. Nothing could compete with the pure joy, the speed, and the convenience in the situations I found myself in. But for you, it might be as difficult to take the bike every day like it was for me to film and edit this video. My ride is all about these little decisions and ideas that get us from the couch to make a difference in this world. What I want to find out with you is how is bicycle riding in the other cities around Europe. I grew up in a society where bicycle riding is everywhere, where still people complain that it's not as much prioritized, but it is actually quite well established. But when I came here, I saw that in East Europe, at least in Tallinn, bicycle riding is not at all prioritized. So what I want to show you is the perspectives of different people I will meet around Europe in a little interview series. So if you're as curious as I am, then follow me on this journey. Follow my challenge, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next adventures, and especially this very big and very special adventure where I will take you on. It's gonna be a ride, musical ride, through mountain and road, through wherever it takes me, wherever we go. It's gonna be a ride to the sunset, a ride through the moon, a ride through the moon. Yeah. But real change happens in the real world. So I decided to raise funds for Pencils of Promise, an organization that dedicated its work to building schools where children have no access to quality education and clean water. Help me to reach the goal of 10,000 euros for donations for this valuable purpose by donating right now. The link you can find in the comment section.